Hey,
All right,
hey.
everybody. Welcome to B and the Sharp G. My name is B.
And I'm the Sharp G.
All right. Today we have a
All
special
right.
guest. What?
Nothing. Oh, sorry,
What
Joe. Didn't mean
happened?
to take you off your rhythm there.
Today we have a special guest. Today we have Matt Jackson. How's it going, Matt?
So honored to be here with Joe B and the Sharp G. Oh my gosh.
He practiced that really well.
I was about to say that feels like a little much. We're not that good.
It's sincere, I promise, too. It sounded fake, but it is sincere.
We're excited to have you on and kind of get to know you a little bit. Greg and I have been doing podcasts for a minute now. About 3 months. Isn't it been about 3 months?
Yeah. This second round has been about 3 months, yeah.
Yeah. And Greg and I have known each other for last podcast. We actually talked about how we met. And Greg remembers the incident really well. I don't remember it at all. Because it was so memorable. But
I was just a cog in the wheel at that point.
Yeah, Greg and I used to work for I used to work for AT&T in a call center, and so did Greg. And so, sorry.
So you're the one I was talking to when I had service issues.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever feel like you were being talked down to when you were having service issues?
Never,
well,
no.
Then you never talk to me.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So Greg and I worked in a call center for a long time, and that's how we became friends. As some of you know, did I already say this? I met Matt recently. Very recently. I just spent a little bit of time with Matt on a cruise to Alaska. Matt and I, we were on the boat together. So that was
rough.
That was
2 weeks in Alaska. Brutal. Oh, man.
Since very few people know Matt, and since this is our first time having a podcast with Matt, I thought we would play the worst game that everyone hates to play when you're getting to know someone in the office, and that is 2 truths and a lie. And so for people who don't know, the idea of the game is you tell us 2 truths and 1 lie, and then we have to figure out which are the truths and which is the lie. Which 2 things are truth and which one is a lie. Now, unfortunately, Greg knows me well enough that he might know the truth and the lie, so this might not be good for Greg. But Matt, we don't know you very well, so we'll go that way. So, anyone want to volunteer to go first?
Yeah, Joe, you go first.
All right. I guess this is my game, so I have to go first. All right. So 2 truths and a lie.
Truth.
Oh. All right. I once sang at a place where there was 15. I once sang in front of 1,500 people in a group. It was kind of a group thing, and I was part of a dance group, and we danced and we sang. It was about 1,500 people. Very big audience, and I want to say I got a standing ovation. I just want to put that out there.
No, well, I thought it was the truth until that part.
I'm pretty sure it was a standing ovation. I could be wrong. That's one thing I'll tell you. Another thing I'll tell you is on a completely separate notice, I did get a scholarship to play football at a college. I got a full ride. Some other things came up, so I actually didn't end up taking the full ride. But I did get a full ride scholarship to play football, and that didn't work out for me. And finally, the last thing I'll tell you is I was once part of a dance troupe that traveled all over the Chicagoland area as a dancer. And
What kind of dance?
Polynesian
Investigative.
Right. I was a Polynesian dancer, luau's and whatnot.
Is there?
And now you guys can add.
Is there a whatnot to luau's?
Yeah, the whatnot included like one time I had to blow a conch shell. I have no idea how to blow a conch shell, so that did not go well.
Another euphemism, but okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's
okay.
Why are you making this weird? Don't make it weird. It's weird enough. It's weird enough. It doesn't need your help.
So,
These are
so
all
basically,
good,
you
man.
said you sang twice and you danced once.
He's
Um,
saying football. Oh, for the dance competition.
Oh no, he sang. He played
Football
football,
scholarship.
or he danced.
he was a
Dance.
dan- I was a dancer.
All three
So
are truly
and,
believable.
and you can ask me any questions now if you want to ask me questions about these things that I did.
Who was the scholarship? What school?
I'm not going to share who the scholarship was, where I danced, or any of that. But if you want to ask me other questions about
Dude,
it,
these are good, Joe. Mine are going to be horrible. These are good. And I don't know you well enough, so I can believe all three.
He's been
that's why
thinking
this
about
game.
this game all week.
I actually haven't. I just thought of this game earlier today, but this is the same truth, two truths and a lie I tell at every meeting, and no one ever gets it right. I mean, Greg probably knows which one is the lie, but
I don't like the answer, but I'm going to go the lie is the football scholarship. Even though I don't really feel good about it. That's just, I can believe all three equally. And the football one makes the most sense to me. So I'm going to go with that one as being the lie.
Having known me for so little time, that's the one you're going to go with right now?
I've heard you dance, so I could easily see people cheering for you.
You heard me dance?
I've heard you sing, and you are fantastic. The football one makes an obvious sense. So that one seems like an obvious truth, which therefore makes it maybe an obvious trick lie. So, boom.
Greg, do you have a vote here?
I'm going to go with Matt.
You're going to go with Matt. That is the lie. I've never played football, and I played football in high school as a freshman. It did not go well for me. I ended up hurting someone, so I quit playing football.
Oh.
On accident. I didn't mean to hurt the guy, and he ended up having to be out for the rest of the season.
Okay, the season's okay. I was like, is it for life? Because
well, I don't think he ever came back to play it after the season was over. But
so you're part of his two truths and a lie, where I had a football career all lined up, and I got hurt freshman year, and I never played again.
That could be. I mean, I don't think so, but it could be. But if you want to ask me questions about the other things, I was in a show choir in high school, and so in my show choir, we did perform at like a competition. There were 1,500 people at the competition at downtown Chicago, and they gave everyone a standing ovation. That's why I believe we got one. So I was also part of a dance troupe. I was a Polynesian dancer, and we did luau's all over Chicago, all over the Chicagoland area. My parents were huge into it, and so naturally, I was into it. There are some very unfortunate pictures of me being in luau's, so hopefully those won't get out, but they do exist. All right, so those are mine. I'm sure Greg has played this game a lot, so we'll let Greg go next.
Okay.
Greg, tell me two truths and a lie.
Okay. When I was 13 years old, I had the opportunity to meet Jim Varney, also known as Ernest.
Oh.
I got to speak with him
From
for a little
Ernest
bit.
Goes to Camp?
Uh-huh.
That guy?
Got his autograph. When I was
where did you meet him? Where did you meet this guy?
I met him at a fair.
Okay.
When I was in the 8th grade, I was on the first boys volleyball team in the state of Illinois.
What year was that?
When I was in the 8th grade.
Yeah, what year were you in the 8th grade?
I got to do
factual, man.
What was that?
Was that in 88?
Something like 88?
89?
Something like that.
Whoa.
Okay.
And
first of all, I've never known that you played volleyball. I've known you for all this time. I'm a huge volleyball fan. Why have we never played volleyball?
Maybe he hasn't.
And
that could be the lie. Is that what you're saying, Matt?
Yeah. Huh.
And let's see. The last one will be
Whatever this is the lie. It's taking too long for him to figure something out. Greg is not a good liar, so this is probably the lie.
I once met Horace
Nah.
Grant
A second meet. Okay.
at a Chicago Bulls game, 1996. After the game, Tim, I'll throw in Tim into this one. Tim had figured out that the family had contact paper. Remember that, like, colored contact paper? So he went to Kinko's the night before and got a copy of every color, like, contact paper. And then once we figured out what the family had, we cut little pieces out and we were able to go in and meet the players. I got to meet Horace Grant.
Okay. All right. In 1996, you say?
1996, they were playing the Supersonics. That was the year they beat the Supersonics. It was double overtime. Scottie Pippen hit the winning shot.
Well, that's a lie.
You're fact dumping on us. Yeah,
Scottie Pippen has never hit a winning shot ever in his life. That always goes to Jordan.
Double overtime, 1996.
Double overtime. Okay, so our options are you met Ernest from Ernest Goes to Camp.
8th grade volleyball.
You were on the first volleyball team in the state of Illinois. That's what you said, right? I'm not lying there.
Boys, yep.
Yeah, boys volleyball team in the state of Illinois. And the last one is in 1996. You met Horace Grant after a basketball game. Were you in the locker room? I didn't quite catch that.
No, it wasn't in the locker room. It was just kind of like right inside. Like it was in right the bleachers, in the bleachers. Yeah. Like after the game, if you had one of these the right color, you could get past the ushers, and you could meet. Well, they would think that you're part of the family, so you could go in there and get.
Gotcha. So you'd be in the little hallway area.
No, like
I don't think you ever met Horace Grant. That's fine. Matt, okay. Do you want to go with which one do you think?
I don't think Ernest scared you stupid, Sharp G. So I'm gonna go with I don't think you met Ernest.
Okay. Everybody else that I went to the game with got to meet players. I was the only one who didn't get to go to meet them.
Oh, okay.
So you didn't meet her. You didn't get to meet Horace Grant, but you.
Tim did actually figure out that there was color paper that the families were giving out at some point in either before the game or after the game. He went to Kinko's and got a copy of every color piece of paper that they sold. We went into the game, watched the game, blah, blah, blah. It actually was 1996. Scottie Pippen actually beat the Supersonics in double overtime with a game-winning shot. After the game, Tim and some other of our friends had that paper, got in. They did get to meet a lot of the players from the Supersonics and from the Bulls because they came out and like met the families and kind of did the whole handshaking and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. I left to go get another buddy who had gotten lost, and I missed out on the whole thing. I was so bummed.
That's crazy. Yeah. Can you tell us how you met Ernest?
Yeah, so during the Illinois State Fair, it was actually the Illinois State Fair. So every year during the Illinois State Fair, they have like celebrities or pseudo-celebrities or whatever level you think celebrities are, right? You know,
whatever level Ernest is.
Yeah, whatever. I was 13 years old. Ernest was a big deal when I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
Right? So I had to stand in line for I don't even know how long, but once you got to him, he actually was very nice. He talked to me for a while. He signed, you know, when you walk into the state fair, they give you like that program, that thick program.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like 80 pages thick. Anyway, he signed the program, you know, shook my hand, you know. It was really cool. I actually still have that program. It's in Austin. It's in Austin right now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, and then the boys volleyball, yes, I really was. I did play on the first boys volleyball team. Yeah.
Spike.
Spike.
No,
My
I believe
highlight-
that because the year matches. Actually, I tried out for the first our first high school volleyball team, and it was back in 1988. That's why I was asking the year, and I did not make the team. Surprisingly enough, I spiked the ball hard enough that the coach from another college stopped to figure out who hit the ball, and then I missed one of the practices because of my commitment to show choir. I missed one of the practices, so I didn't get on the team.
When we played, we were the only boys team, so we only played girls teams,
Oh, really?
and it was kind of so it was kind of interesting. One of the Christian college coaches kind of volunteered to be our coach, so we had like a high level kind of coach, but he had set up with all girls teams, and we actually traveled to other cities and played
In the eighth grade.
in the 8th grade. Yeah, it was actually pretty interesting. That my highlight of the whole thing was, so I did underhand serve, but I was really good at getting it to the different points on the court, and I once scored 15 points in a game. So
Really?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's impressive. Yeah.
That's crazy. 15, that's the whole game, ain't it?
I was
Yeah,
saying, that's a lot.
yeah. So anyway, all right, Matt.
Okay. Let's see. I had a real strong affinity for The Greatest Showman when it came out. That show came out when I was going through a big transition in life, the movie, and I really aligned with the storyline and just really I get really hooked onto stuff, right? And so I went one time and saw that movie back to back times in the theater. So I went, walked out, went right back into the next showing, walked out, went back into the third showing in a row. Because I was just such hype for it. I was like, I gotta do this. I need all the Hugh Jack Daddy I can get. So, 3 showings in a row for The Greatest Showman.
In one day.
In a
all
7-hour
in
span. Just
one sitting.
boom, boom, boom. Like I said, get really fixated on stuff.
What did you
Let's
get at
see.
the concession stand?
So Utah has this theater line called the Megaplex. It's like the big theater, and the bucket you buy it $20 for the whole year, and it's $4 to refill it.
Oh, wow.
And it's so I just
Wow.
did some damage to my small intestine with some popcorn consumption. So spent 7 hours in the theater and then 7 hours. Yeah. So so that was that, and then one time I met Mark Eaton at a Ruth's Chris, and I went to pat him on the back, and I smacked him on the butt instead. And it wasn't like a butt kind of upper cheek back. It was firmly on the beefy part of that booty. I just gave him a nice smack on the butt, and we had a shared laugh about it.
Okay,
And
hold
then
on.
the
Who's
third-
Mark Ian? I don't know who Mark Ian is.
Mark Eaton! Oh, you Bulls fans. Come on. This was OG Jazz before you guys broke our hearts with Karl Malone and John Stockton. He was like one of the original shaggy
Okay, I
big
remember
man
who he
centers.
is now. I remember who he is. Mark Eaton, yeah, okay. I got
Mark
it.
Eaton, gotta love him. And then the third one was I was big into tumbling as a kid. My parents, I think, wanted maybe a girl because I was their first kid, and so I was a Poppy in a production of Wizard of Oz. And I have this really cool photo of me at 4 years old with a leotard, a poppy flower headpiece, and I'm just striking a really serious pose. And so,
Okay, so our options are number one, you sat through three showings of
this is the
The
greatest,
Greatest
show!
Showman. You smacked Mark Eaton on the butt.
And we had a legit conversation about. So sorry,
Well, I
Mark. I
hope
thought that was
so.
your back.
Did you? Now here's the question I have: did you cup?
It happened so fast, He was just dressed nicely and asking for it. So I don't know.
And then the final one is you were a Poppy in a.
I was also a child dancer.
Also a child dancer. Do those two things go together? A poppy and child dancer?
No, it was in the Wizard of Oz. There's like the pop or like the flowers that they all pass out, and I was one of those, I guess.
Okay.
So I was good enough to be a poppy, a background flower.
I'm going to say the Mark Eaton thing is not real. The smacking someone on the butt is not the real thing, because I think people would be quite infuriated if you smack. If I was walking by and some random dude smacked me on the butt, we'd probably box. So that's my guess. Sharp, what do you think? You're studying long, brother. You're studying long.
I'll go with that too, because
you don't think it's the poppy thing? Because the poppy thing is my next guess. If it's not the smacking someone on the ass randomly, I'm gonna go with the poppy.
I guess my gut says, maybe it's the first one. Because if you're a big fan, why not just buy the thing and take it home?
Well, you can't buy the thing because it just came out.
If you're a big fan, you'll figure it out.
Oh, all right. All right. If that's the way you feel. So is that what's your answer?
Sure, I'll go with one.
All right. So he's going with one. I'm going with the Mark Eaton thing. Which is the lie?
I went back-to-back showings of Greatest Showman. I did not do back-to-back-to-back. So we went and saw it with the big group, and then Maddie was going to go hang out with some friends, and it was like 9 o'clock on Friday night, and I was like, I'm going to go again. And just walked right back in and saw it a second time. I did not go a third time.
So you did actually smack Mark Eaton on the ass?
Yeah, I meant to smack him on the back, and I misjudged the height.
He's just so tall. He's just so tall.
He's massive. It was not an intentional ass smack, but he's so tall. I was off on my ratios. And as a chiropractor, I'm embarrassed about that.
It's easily done. I remember I was at the Chicago car show. And it was the very
and Horace
first
Grant
time.
Was there.
No. Well, it was an NBA player. It was like, I can't remember, Ronnie Cycli or whatever his name was. It was the first time I've really seen like an NBA player in person, and he came in, and it felt like I was looking up at a skyscraper or something. The dude was just, it was just mad. So I can easily see you went to the back, and I wouldn't be surprised if he hit like the hamstring as tall as some of these guys are.
Right? So yeah.
Well,
nice.
Great. So now we get to know each other a little bit. I did have a couple of other getting to know you questions to ask, so just bear with me. One is because Greg and I have talked a lot about travel. So my question to you is, what is your favorite place to travel? Where have you traveled that you have really enjoyed, Matt?
I love going to Disney World with my wife, Maddie, and with her family. Truly, we have the most fun, magical. It is the most memorable trips we've ever been in my whole 40 years of living.
For someone who's never been to any one of those, what's the highlight?
They just do it well. They stay on property, so you're never on like another public road. So the moment you land in Orlando to the moment you leave, you're on Disney property, you're immersed in it, you're using your Magic Band to pay for stuff. You're just truly back to childhood suspended living. There's no real world interference. You're just, again, you're staying on property at the hotels. It's incredible. It's just magical and fun.
I feel like this is a thing that this family is really into, Greg. And
I thought it was a lot of Kool-Aid drinking, and then I went with them, and I'm like, all right, I'm all in. This is awesome.
Well, we talked about last time how the family kind of does family trips.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the same family that their dad decides to go into people's houses in foreign countries. Yeah. So, you have to take that with a grain of salt. Like, I don't. And
hello, Uber driver. Could we eat in your home today too? Could your wife make us some local food?
Yeah,
that'd be
we would
great.
like to go right into your home and look around your house.
Could I get a menu?
Right. I would like several options. I don't want just whatever. Okay.
Wait,
so and I feel like that's a weird choice because it's very American, right? That's a very American choice.
Like, I have been lucky to travel a lot with my family and stuff, but like those are the trips that I look back on and I look at those pictures the most. We have the most stories. We have the most laughs about stuff. Like It's just
Going-
it's 10
going
days.
to
Disney World.
Disney World or
Yeah.
Disneyland. Have you ever been to Disneyland?
Disney World. Yeah, way
Disney
better
World.
than Land. It says a lot if you're a Disneylander instead of a Disney Worlder. It says a lot about you, actually.
What does it say?
Yeah, what does it say?
Disney
You
World.
and I are both, Greg and I are both like, it says
Disney
something?
World
What does it
is
say?
far superior. And as a West Coast boy that grew up in Oregon, I thought Disneyland was the bee's knees. And then you go to Disney World, and you're like, whoa, the whole of Disneyland fits in the parking lot of Magic Kingdom alone. So Disney World is just so much bigger and more immersive and comprehensive. Disneyland is a cool day trip, but Disney World, whoa, we are setting up camp here.
All right. Greg, do you want to tell like what your favorite place to travel is? Where did you really like going to?
Well, I go to India twice a year, and I actually
cool.
enjoy it. Now, granted, I'm going with people who kind of know the area and kind of take care of me, sort of thing.
So you
my
also
experience
eat in
is-
their homes.
No, but I could if I wanted to. Like, for example, this last time, I had a little bit of downtime, and one of the guys that takes me around, his name is Ragu, and he was like, "Well, why didn't you call me? You could have came over. You could have visited with my family and this and that." And I was like, "I want to go take a rickshaw ride." And he's like, "We could have done that." So this next time, I'm going to get a lot more adventurous and get out and do whatever. But we do get out. The thing is that there's just so many people there. Like when you get out in it, you're out in it. Like even at 3 a.m., there's still a lot of people out there. But we loved going to London. My wife and I absolutely loved it. We loved going to Germany. I've been over to the Philippines before. It was great. I've been to China and some other Asian countries. Those were all
Cool.
fun too. So
Greg's a world traveler, by
I
far.
love it.
All right. So I just want to, I mean, Greg and we haven't talked in a while. So, Greg, how's things going over there? I specifically want to know what happened today on your walk.
yeah. So I actually came into this. I was hyped. Like I was hyped because. So
Hype for what? Hype for the podcast? Hype for what are you hyped for?
I'm just saying that I came into the normally I'm kind of even keel when I come in here, but my adrenaline was pumping, right?
Okay.
And the reason why, so Loopy and I, we take walks normally every night. It's been raining every night, so this was the first walk we've been on for a while. But we normally go about 3 miles for this walk. We had about quarter mile left, and so normally when we're walking down the sidewalk, sidewalks for normal people is 2 people can walk down. But when we see somebody coming, we get single file.
Right.
I do that for a couple of reasons. One, I want to teach the people who are coming who don't normally follow that rule, hey, you need to go single file, folks. Right? That's just
You're giving them a heads up.
That's
You're
the
giving them a
courteous
heads
thing
up.
to do. But the
Right
other
now
thing
we're
it
going
is-
single file.
Right. So we're going single file. This guy's coming down with this dog. We probably
Big
passed,
dog, small dog, pit bull. What are we talking about?
well,
We're talking about a little chihuahua. What?
when it was coming towards me, didn't look that big. Originally, didn't look that big. But just to say, we probably pass 50 people on these walks with dogs, right? It just
Right.
tons of people are out there with dogs. This occasion, we get level. We're level with this guy passing us with the dog, and all of a sudden we hear a commotion. And I happen to look over, and this dog has whipped its owner to the ground and is now charging after Loopy and I.
What?
Yes.
You mean like he suddenly moved and the owner wasn't holding on tight?
No, I'm
and
looking at the owner. The owner is like checking his wounds from being
thrown
pulled
to the
ground,
floor.
right? While this dog is now lunging at my left leg. And so
Okay.
I
But you still haven't told me. Like, if this is a chihuahua, this story sucks.
I know.
What
because-
kind of dog is it?
Instantly, I went back to
It's
my
a chihuahua, isn't it?
I
This
went
is a
back to-
chihuahua.
It is.
It isn't a
It's
chihuahua.
It's a little puppy.
No, I went back to my old paper route days, and I'm like, snap. You know, I'm freaking
Right.
out at first. So the first thing I do is I assess the dog. I'm like looking like I feel like the Terminator going, okay, what the heck am I dealing with right now?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And I go, okay, the dog was up, the dog's head was up to probably like above my knee.
Okay, like in your thigh area.
In my thigh area. But I
He's
look at
getting
his
a
face.
fleshy bite, is what you're
I
saying.
look at the face and I go, okay, not Rottweiler, not like Doberman Pinscher. And all of a sudden my heart rate went from 200 down to probably 185 because I'm like, okay, that's better than it could be.
Right.
But
right.
I honestly, at that point, I don't know what this dog was. It was big, like it was bulky.
Okay.
And now I'm squared up. This dog and I are squared up.
You're about to fight the dog.
And I look
You're
at
about
the
to pull
owner.
some MMA moves on the dog.
I look at the owner, and the owner's like doing this, and the owner just goes, "Hey," whatever the dog's name was. Hey, and I turned in. I got really aggressive really quick, and I go at the dog a little bit, and it finally backs up.
You give him a little lunge, like I'll take you down. I'll take you down.
And then I went right back into my old paper route, and I start yelling at this guy because now I've got all this adrenaline, and I have nowhere to put it.
Right.
Because I'm thinking I'm going to have to attack this thing.
Right. You thinking it fight or flight, and you're ready for the fight.
Right. So I give this. I'm unloading on the owner. I'm unloading,
right.
and Loopy's like, "Let's go." Right.
But you're all amped. Now you're amped.
I'm in.
You're jacked up on Mountain Dew. You're all set.
Yeah. So the only way I get through it is when we get to like a crosswalk, I just don't stop. Like I just have to get my aggression out somehow. So I'm just like, we're not stopping for these people.
You're just booking.
Because I'm like.
So how long did this interaction take? Was this like a 3-second kind of real quick, and now you're like all amped?
It was at least 20 seconds. Because the dog went at me a couple of times. There was a couple of times when I had to pivot.
But the dude was holding it.
No, the dude is on the ground the entire time.
I love how the dude is on the ground.
He's literally.
That is interesting. He's just looking at you, not trying to.
He's almost
recover.
like, what do I do? What do I do?
How do I handle this?
Well, obviously he can't handle the dog. The dog literally pulled itself away to the point that he's on the ground.
I'm curious what he's telling people now tonight about his evening. Like,
Right.
Well, he's
I
probably
just
saying,
sat and watched, and I was
saying-
curious.
some bald white guy just told me he's
This
gonna.
guy shoved me to the ground, and then he started to fight my dog.
Well, then I think his son came out, and his son was like, "What are you doing on the ground?"
Classic.
Why are you laying down? What happened over here? That's crazy, man.
So Loopy just walked by and said, the dog pulled him so hard that his shoe fell off.
He pulled him out his shoes.
Yeah, I had forgotten that, but I do remember.
I'd probably be on the ground kind of stunned too. Like, what just happened? I might be a little starstruck.
So, yeah, I was amped. When I came back, I was like, I need to go do another 3 miles just to get this out of my system.
That's
Should have
crazy.
picked up his shoe and went to the owner and went, bad owner. And just, kind of gave him a lesson with it. And then
tagged him in
and
the
then
middle a
power
few
walk
times.
off.
Right.
Crosswalk, nope, I'm going. And then, you really send that message.
I would love to see
just steal
Greg
this
power
shoe.
walk away. I would love to see Greg with the arms just.
A good power strut
Let me
feels
just
good
tell you this
sometimes.
real quick. So I walk a lot faster than Loopy does.
Right.
So she had to.
But when the dog came at us, she ran.
Right.
She left me to fend for myself.
Right.
So
Bye, honey.
same thing one time when we were in the ocean and she felt a fish, went straight to the shore, and I'm like, what? But
What just
anyway,
happened?
yeah. So
I don't have to be the fastest, just faster than the person I'm with kind of vibe.
exactly.
Okay.
Hey, if they're gonna kill somebody, might as well be you. You got a lot more meat on you too. But about the fast walking. So we do this thing because I can walk so much faster than her. I play this game where we have like different levels. So I'll walk like normal, and then I'll be like, level 2, and then level 3, and we cannot stop laughing because I'm sure in my mind I think I look absolutely ridiculous, and I see her looking to the side. She's like, "You look absolutely ridiculous."
You look like a crazy person.
Right.
That's awesome.
So anyway.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're safe.
Yeah.
I'm a little stunned that you had to battle with an animal this evening. What I wanted to hear was about how you attacked the animal and he went yipping away. But
I was going to, but he backed away. But I went right back to Paperboy when I was a Paperboy and having to fight all those dogs.
That's crazy. I did hear too that you got to watch Department Q. We talked about that last week, I think, or
we
the week
watched
before.
The whole thing.
I think before we went on vacation. But so, what did you think of Department Q?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I thought that show was incredible. It catches you that very first episode, and like even the first 5 minutes, you're like, "Wait a minute, what's happening? Did Old Boy just get shot?"
Well, that's the strangest thing. Like, we actually started it, but we started it when other things were going on. So we had started it like a month ago, and we only got into about 5 minutes. Right after we got right through the part where people got shot, and then it kind of went to the next scene, and there's things got in the way, and we put it off for about a month. But then when we came back, we just binged the whole thing over a couple of nights.
Yeah.
I will say, I only watched the first episode for this, and I was struggling a little bit because I heard a lot of good hype, and I loved because it's like people that made the Queen's Gambit, right?
Yeah.
I
same
love
people
Queen's
that made
Gambit.
the Queen's Gambit, right? Great
I thought
show.
that so fun. We crushed that. And so the first episode, it was taking me a little bit to kind of get my momentum. And given, I was kind of doing the same thing. I was a little distracted, so I know I wasn't giving it the full focus. But those last 3 minutes, when you kind of realize the duality of the timing, that was when I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. This thing is awesome. I am instantly intrigued and needing to binge the rest of this.
Yeah,
I thought that was really well done.
I was floored. That first episode was like, it hooked me because that whole thing where the guy gets shot and you're like, wait, did we just watch the main character die? And like, and he doesn't die, and you're like, what could possibly happen now? So yeah, who doesn't like a good detective story, right? And
go ahead.
No, I thought it was a good detective story.
We really love British crime dramas. That's like one of our favorites. And I think I'm like Matt. I kind of went in going, okay, I've seen this before, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I was, okay, yeah, it seems pretty good. We'll watch it while we're eating, kind of thing, and whatever. You know? But yeah, as it got towards the end, I was like, I too was, yeah, this is going to be good. And then as each episode goes, and I know, Matt, you haven't gone through the whole thing, it gets better.
Yeah, it does. It does. As it progresses, it gets better. The idea of a cold case like serial is really awesome because it takes a long time for everything to develop, and everything happened so long ago. You're just kind of like, oh, like this is kind of crazy. And the whole time thing that they keep doing, where they shift from what's happening now to what happened in the past, and kind of merging them together, again, I think is really great.
It gave me early vibes of like season 1 True Detective, kind of where they are introducing the main characters, and then you start going back and seeing, where their origin. So it was giving me kind of vibes of that a little bit with the jumping back and forth from present day to the past.
The other thing
I'm early.
The other thing I liked was it gave you enough to kind of go, hey, I figured it out. But enough to go, man, I didn't really figure it out. But then it gives you the answers to all the things that you had questions about.
Yeah, and by the end, it's really a good, like, it gives you a good solid ending. Like, I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you liked it. And Matt, I would highly recommend it because Tammy and I loved it, and now it sounds like Greg and Loopy loved it. So yeah, you and Maddie should definitely try that.
I think we will, and I usually give a lot of respect to, like, if I know someone made another property that I like really loved, that is usually enough for me to give something a few episodes. And so even with season one or even with episode one kind of dragging, I thought at first, because pacing sometimes is hard for me. I get impatient. I'm very right. I want the payoff. Andor did the same thing to me in season one. So the pacing at first I was struggling with, but then I realized, okay, Matt, you gotta be smarter. This is a slow burn that's really going to be worth it. And I will usually give those a few episodes to develop. But the end of that one was just good enough. I'm like, all right, we need to. What can I stay up tonight and just kind of keep going? Keep watching this, because now I'm very curious as to what the heck happened.
So that's definitely a good one. The other one I wanted to talk about, and after I watched this, so I watched this last night, and I immediately was like, okay, if you guys are on the podcast, you got to watch this so we can talk about it. And that was the new season of Black Mirror. So I was sending Matt messages, and I'm like, it's the first episode of the first show, and it's totally not. Black Mirror, first of all, I love Black Mirror. When I very first started watching it, I ended up binging the whole, like, 3 seasons all at once because it's such an incredible show. And the way I describe this show is Black Mirror is the modern day Twilight Zone, right?
Totally.
It's the thing that you're watching, and like you think one thing is happening, but then at the very end it gives you a twist, and then you're like, wait a minute, is that what I just saw? And this particular episode, they don't do that, right? In this particular episode, it's all up front, and the episode is called Commoner. And I was just going to say, if you're going to watch Black Mirror, stop watching this, because this is going to just be spoilers from here on out. But let me ask you first, just let's hear your first reaction to watching this episode. Matt, what's your first reaction?
So for you, Sharp G, someone pointed this out to me early on, and I liked it, that the reason it's titled Black Mirror is because you are looking at a reflection of your phone or your screen when it's locked, right? So it's meant to be a literal black mirror of your reality, or a distorted version of your reality. And so when someone told me that, I'm like, oh gosh, that makes me view these episodes with another appreciation, because, like, can some of these maybe play out someday? And that's what I thought with this one was, oh my gosh, this is 10 years in the future, maybe. Like, we're going to totally get to the point where we are able to hack these sort of memory system upgrades and keep things going in some capacity. So for me, the AI is terrifying, and looking at how these things come about make me just go, yeah, I bet that's possible. Or I bet we get to that point. And then the brutality of being unable to keep up with it and the heartbreak. That's just what Black Mirror does best. It just pulls at your heartstrings. Ugh.
So I only have the knowledge of this one episode. I only watched it because Joe asked me to watch it. I didn't know about Black Mirror, or if I knew about it, I had skipped over it at some point and forgotten about it. So, but based on this episode, we're going to go back and start it from the beginning.
Skip episode 1, season 1.
Do not skip episode 1.
That is so traumatic. Oh, my eyes and my mind.
But you gotta watch it, because I think it's one of those things that kind of sets the tone. Like,
it is a before and after moment in your life, for sure.
Some of this shit is off the wall. So you're gonna have to live with some of this shit. But yeah, it gets crazy. But I'm just gonna tell you, and Greg and I have a lot of experience working with cell phone industries, and this gave me the cell phone industry vibe. Like, okay, listen, you can only use your phone, and so just as a preference, when I started with AT&T, they did not have roaming. In order to roam when I started with AT&T, you had to have the number for the market that you're going to be in, and then you had to dial that number in order to get someone who was in that market. So, like, if I was in Atlanta, I would have to know the roaming number for Atlanta to reach someone who was in Atlanta. And then if they move from Atlanta to, like, let's see, to North or South Carolina, I would have to know the number for South Carolina. And each number was different. So it was a lot like that. And this kind of gave that very weird vibe where at the very beginning they're like, oh, but if you upgrade, we're going to give you the ability to roam anywhere. And it was exactly that same vibe in the roaming when roaming first came out. And so that's totally what it reminded me of.
Well,
And-
that city, that Juniper or whatever, Juniper, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
reminded me, I don't know if you remember, Joe, but there was a in our coverage when we first started, there was Jersey City. Do you remember Jersey City?
No, I don't remember
It was
Jersey
a
City.
place that like two guys had bought the cell tower.
Oh my gosh,
that
I do
area.
remember this. I do remember the two guys who had the tower.
Yeah, so it didn't matter who you were. If you connected to their tower, it was always roaming. And we'd have so many calls about.
And it was so expensive. That was
Yeah.
the other
Gosh.
thing. It
they
was not
charged
cheap.
as much as they could charge. Whatever.
Yeah.
the
So a couple of
max
guys just had a business idea and saw the writing and said, "Oh, we're going to buy this tower," and
And it
it's
was
going to
like
auto.
a little bitty, like, you pass through it in 15 minutes sort of thing.
But
But it
enough
would
that
connect.
it would hook people.
Yeah, it would hook
Yeah.
you to their cell tower, and now you're paying $60 every time you go through or something, whatever it was.
Wow.
So
But that's what
Just
it
to-
reminded me of when I saw that when she hit that point and she hit the Juniper. I'm like, this is a Jersey City, guys.
this is a Jersey City situation. So this is why I really wanted Greg to see it, is because it totally reminded me of the cell phone business. Like, whenever you were roaming, there was this weird thing, and then we would charge more for people to use their phone outside of their own coverage area. And we would, and it was always, it felt like that same commercial that she was giving, which was, hey, but you can use your service in your home area, but if you want to use your service in all these other great areas, it's just a little bit more for just $500 more a month.
500.
500.
Well,
You can use it in
and-
other places.
The constant feeling of like lack of loyalty benefit too. Like you're going, okay, I've been with you for this long. We've been doing this. Not only are we constantly being upgraded, but we're constantly not even close to being able to keep up with you. And I feel like that happens with cell phones sometimes with the phone companies. The new customers get the best benefits, the best rates, and it almost becomes a game of every 2 years I switch companies so I can get the best deal from Verizon, and then in 2 years I'll go to T-Mobile, and I'll just keep doing that versus being with the one because it doesn't matter anymore if I'm going out for 10 years.
Or that subtle, hey, you're on the loser plan right now.
Yeah.
You're on
Be a
the
winner.
commoner plan.
You want to be a winner, you gotta move on.
You gotta
Just
move
the
up to the
class-
winner plan.
Gut punch. Oh.
Yeah.
So
Well, it
I
also
just want
reminded me, Joe, of, do you remember when we had what was called Neon, where there was a rule within the contract that said if you were off network a certain percentage of time, then we could take you off of the service. sort of thing? It kind of reminded me of
that.
hey, do whatever you need to do. We just might have to get rid of you.
We might just have to get rid of you.
You're
The other
paying your
thing that-
bills, that's fine, but
But we reserve the right to just let you go. The other thing, so for those people who haven't seen it, and I totally recommend the Black Mirror, especially this one, what happens is at these two blue-collar people, they're very much in love, they're happy, and at one point the woman falls out, and she has a bit of an aneurysm. And in order for her to live, they have two options. The husband has two options. He can let her die, which is what everyone has been doing up to this point, or he can basically have them chip her brain, and then that chip would be connected to a cellular, like a quote-unquote cellular network, where they would be able to feed her information to keep her going. Well, what ends up
Upload her
happening,
memory and everything. Yeah.
yeah, upload her memories, her attitudes, or what do you call it, personality traits, and all of this kind of stuff. What ends up happening is once they start doing that, they slowly manipulate her to get more and more money out of her. And the first thing that happens, and I remember I was waiting for cell phones to do this, but the first thing that happens is she starts getting commercials. She starts just randomly spouting commercials.
Well, we do get commercials now
on our cell phones.
That's when you say something to somebody in the room, and then you go onto Facebook and it's up on your feed.
Right.
Well,
no, I totally agree with that. I agree that's what happens. But the crazy thing is no one is trying to sell you the version that doesn't have the commercials. You can't get the no commercials version. And, like a good example is Prime. Prime, when we very first got Prime, there was no commercials on Prime. Even YouTube, there were no commercials on Prime. Yeah, everything, no commercials. And then like they came out and were like, listen, we're going to start doing commercials, but hey, they're only commercials for our stuff. We're not trying. We just want you to know what we have for you. Well, that's all we're doing. And at first we're like, okay, yeah, it's probably good. I need to know, what the new stuff is. And then it went from that to go, listen, we're only going to sell you stuff that you already care about. We're not going to sell you anything else, just the stuff that you care about. And you're like, oh, crap, okay, maybe I care about this stuff. And then you're like, no, I don't want these commercials. I don't care about this stuff. And they did this crazy thing where they're like, well, if you want that, you got to get the winter plan. And the winter plan is $3 a month more. And you're like, what the hell just happened? So, yeah.
Matt,
more like $15 more.
We have vowed, I think it was Hulu, had this cool thing where they ran the same damn ad every time. I think it's for Faj's Greek or Irish yogurt. We will never buy it because that ad infuriated us so much. We vowed we are never buying this again because we were trying to watch all of like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And so we had to just endure 500 commercials of the same Greek yogurt ad. We're like, all right, that's on our forever list. I don't care if it's that or starvation. We are choosing starvation. We will not support that company.
If it goes down to 2 cents a can, I'm not buying it. Yeah.
Nah, I'll eat the can first. I don't care.
I'll eat the can first.
Well, and then the other part, right, with the phone, I like the service, the lagging, and then they introduced the like sensation package. So now not only are you motivated by the accessibility, then now
parkour. The whole commercial with the girl doing parkour was like, what the hell? Yeah, the parkour.
Now they introduce people to these untapped, like, again, like, oh wait, I can feel things at this higher level, and then you want me to go back to living here?
Right.
No, man, I gotta find a way to feed that addiction now.
I think I turned to Loopy and said the first one's free.
The first one's always free.
Gotta give it a little taste. Yep.
All I kept thinking was, this is so possible. Like, this is so, like, we're right on the cusp of doing this. And I foolishly thought in my head, well, there's a possibility that the government would restrict this, right? Like, the government would say, hey, this is not good for society. But then I remembered, like, the government's interested in making money just as much as the people who are making the money.
This is like Limitless. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah. Well, tell me how it's like Limitless.
Well, in the sense that you got to take this pill to enhance your abilities, and if you don't continue to take this pill or continue to get the upgrades, you don't get the same sensation, right?
Well, one of the things that I think of a lot with again, I think I'm a chiropractor. I work with my hands. So how is AI going to replace me someday? And I keep coming back to like Ready Player One, where the world becomes so expensive to live in that it's easier and cheaper for people to live in a virtual world. And I feel like we're getting closer to that. A lot of people live to go home and game and live online. How long until that haptic suit feedback? How long until we just find a way to upload permanently into this alternative place where
Into the
I
Matrix?
can have the sensation, kind of like, you know, like I'd rather have a world where my sensation meters can be maxed out, right, on the phone, versus this dumb cruddy world where I don't feel anything, and if I want to feel it, I got to cough it up.
Or if I want
So
to feel it, I have to do something extreme. You know, like I got to get chased by a dog, or I got to, you know.
right?
Or you got to pull your tooth out like the guy did.
Oh my gosh!
I forgot
When
about
he
that
started doing that stuff, I was like,
Oh.
and you knew that was coming
You're
because
right.
they're setting it up. Don't even.
Black
They're setting it
Blackbeard
up.
does like to plant the seeds, huh?
Yeah,
They like
they
to
were
I knew
setting
he
it
was,
up right
I
from
knew
the
he was going to
beginning.
do that. From the moment I saw the
Oh.
kid laughing at his cell
Yeah.
phone, I knew he's going to end up doing that.
He's going to
Oh,
be
gosh.
doing this.
And
And I felt
isn't
bad for
that
the guy
painful?
immediately.
Yeah.
I felt bad for him immediately. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's gonna suck for him. And then
Well,
he
'cause the-
smiles at the end, and he's missing that too.
Right. I think he's missing 2 teeth.
Yeah, I think he's missing a couple teeth, not just one. Yeah,
You
it's
think, you know,
horrid.
if it were your wife, right? If your spouse,
Yeah,
that's
it plays
that's
on-
why this show is so good, because you go, I'd probably do it too. I would probably, or we would, you know, maybe, yeah, like
Yeah.
she has, and then the other side of her, I forgot the whole part is she starts sleeping more because she can't keep up
Yeah.
with the bandwidth. So now you're paying out the ear for service you can't even access, or the bandwidth slows, and so now she's sleeping and he's pulling his teeth out for an hour a day, or the
'Cause they're
commercial
using
version.
her brain as a CPU to run other things.
Yeah,
No,
they're using
Amazon
her,
saw that.
her bandwidth to, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone saw that and they're like, okay, who spilled the secrets?
Right.
Who
Right.
leaked our idea?
Well, the interesting thing is, and I'm so grateful that neither one of you had to deal with this, but when my mom was in the process of passing away, she and after I saw this, it totally reminded me of this. I actually went to the hospital, and the doctor was explaining to me, and I'm smiling because this is a horrible memory, but the doctor was explaining to me, we're keeping your mom alive. And what we're doing is we're giving her all the medication that's going to keep her here. But that's killing her kidney, so we're going to have to, or her liver. So we're going in and we're cleaning out all of her blood. But that's bringing her closer to death. So we're filling her back up with this cocktail of medication. And it was this big loop. And all I kept thinking was, my mom and I had a conversation before this, like, I want to say the day this happened. Like, it happened maybe 2 days after this. But we were on the way to the hospital, and my mom was like, listen, I've lived a good life. I've done everything I want to do. If it's my time to go, I'm okay. Let me go. And because I had that conversation, I was much more like willing to go, hey, this is the end, and this sucks, but it's the end, and she's got to go. And but yeah, I was in that same position where you're looking at this situation and you're trying to decide what would I do in this situation. And like you're saying, you know, I would totally do it for my wife. But I was so grateful that I had this conversation with my mom, and I had another conversation with my uncle at the same time. It was like basically saying the same thing. And I want to say, I forget what year it was, but it's probably a good 15 or 20 years ago. There was a family who had this huge legal battle where they were trying to, like, one part of the family was trying to keep this woman alive, and the other part of the family was trying to say it's enough. Like, she doesn't have any quality of life. We're going to have to let her go. And the other family fought it in court to keep her alive. And it was like, I just remember it was a crazy thing. Now imagine if you throw this in. Not only can we keep her alive, but we could keep her functional for half the day. You get her for 12 hours, we get her for the other 12.
And you give us money.
And you give us money every month. Well, what if I can't pay it? I don't care. If you can't pay it, we're going to have to turn her off. Like, what the hell? So, yeah, I mean, it's...
pay me, basically.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's how some stuff works. That's how some stuff works. Like, listen, I don't really care.
I mean, this is medicine in 2025, right? I mean, scripts for people are $thousands of dollars a month, and they have to somehow find a way, or they do have. I mean, it's a different version of death, but yeah.
We heard about a guy. I heard about a guy who was trying to split his insulin. So he was having to take insulin, but the insulin was so expensive, he was splitting the insulin, and that killed him because he wasn't taking what he needed to take, and he ended up dying. So, yeah.
It's commentary for sure.
It's all of the horror that we have to deal with in life now. Like, these are all of the horrifying things. And the other thing that's great about this show is that's just the introduction. There are so many other things that they're going, if we don't do right, if we don't figure out the moral thing to do, we're going to end up in these very ambiguous, bad situations. And I think they did it. I think they did an incredible job with this one.
The other thing I was thinking about, and I don't know if it was kind of out there, but I was thinking about the sales lady, and like, how hooked in is she that she can? First of all, she's saying all this stuff with a straight face. When I say this stuff, meaning, hey, if you want to live a better life, pay me, right? It's just that simple. Right?
Pay me the luxury package.
Yeah, get the luxury package. Hey, you'll figure it out, sort of thing. But like, what's her dilemma in her head that's got her? Because, like she said at one point, I was dead, and they brought me back to life. So she's almost like
just kind of an FYI.
She has
the
to
lady
do the bidding of this company in order for her own survival.
Yeah, just kind of an FYI. That actress. I don't know if you guys know this, but that's Diana Ross's daughter.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, that's Diana Ross's daughter. But anyway, yeah, you're absolutely right. The one thing I kept thinking is, why doesn't she just go and tell them, I'll do sales for you guys? Clearly it's working.
That's what I said too.
Why don't you just go and do sales for them? Because they've got it. They've got them on a hook. Once you bring them in, they're hooked. They can't get out.
But it's almost like
that'd be an interesting version of it, yeah.
It's almost like a Ponzi, like you got to get somebody who's got to get somebody who's got to get somebody.
That's a good idea.
That's the multi-level marketing side of it.
Right.
Man,
Listen,
that's the next version of this episode, yeah.
If we could just get 3 of your friends to join our group, we could make all the money in the world.
That would be a killer.
The next
10 more
episode
minutes.
is their family finds them both dead in the house and hooks them back up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then they're on the hook.
And they're on
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I thought it was nuts too that when he walked the last scene, he walks in going to that same pay site, to get paid, and he's got that X-Acto knife in his hand.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay.
That's not good. Yeah.
I don't know. I know that was the exact same room, but I thought, in my mind, he's going to commit suicide.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow he's getting that final payment.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. He's going in there to commit suicide online and make the money.
Right.
Oh, I thought he was just going to go in and just kill himself online. Yeah.
He's going to do it. I don't know.
Because she was gone, right?
Yeah.
He suffocated her.
He killed
He finished it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he couldn't kill himself and then revive her quickly. He was just going to end it and pay the tax
that's
on
what
the house.
I think they were trying to tell us.
Yeah.
Which
I totally agree. There was a total vibe of suicide, of a finality that couldn't be like fixed. There's nothing that could fix this. This is the end.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, his life had become so subject. I mean, he had truly destroyed himself physically and mentally. I mean, you'd have a hard time looking at yourself in the mirror if the person you're doing it for was also then gone. Now you're like, well, crap, I'm left with the physical and the emotional scars of those. I might as well go be with her.
And then the whole time, I mean, and you're going to hate yourself for this, but the whole time you're thinking, I should have just let her die.
Yeah.
Right?
She wouldn't want me to do this. She wouldn't want this to be the reason.
Yeah. Anyway, great
It's a good show.
Great show.
And the way you guys brought it up, I always think about Black Mirror. How did they come up with the ideas? And the way that you two kind of framed it was, well, we found a modern-day problem. And then we just kind of tweaked how it's presented, and that's the episode. Because I wonder, how did they come up with these insane show topics and ideas? And you all kind of broke it down well. Like, well, we have the problem. They just changed some of the aspects of it. That's all it was.
Yeah,
So that's
and I mean,
interesting.
you just, yeah, I don't know who comes up with this stuff, but some of the stories that they come up with, and it's been a while since I've seen them, they're crazy. And the great thing about this show is they keep showing you these things like one thing after another, and they're all kind of like this. And then at the end of the season, they somehow tie them all together, and they show you one show with all of these associations and these callbacks to the entire season. The thing about the show is every episode, like, it's not the same people in every episode. Obviously, the next episode doesn't have these people. They're both dead.
It's a different world, yeah.
Yeah, but you got to think, you're thinking to yourself, oh, these people are going to come back. Like, this situation is going to come back in a future episode. And you're kind of waiting for that to happen, or at least I am, because they kept doing that in the previous seasons. And by the end of the season, you're like, holy crap, this is all in the same world. This is not...
Well, and this season was the first time they ever did a part 2 of a storyline, right? Where they continued with the Jesse Plemons story from, I think, the previous season.
But yeah, I don't remember that. I'll have to look at that.
Because all of them are at least it's a new story, and then they'll tie them together. But this one was a legit second chapter where it picks up after that episode ends from a previous season. For my recommendation, if you wanted to season hop, I don't know what season it is, but if you Google Black Mirror, the Aaron Paul episode left me with a pretty good jaw hang. Like, whoa.
Aaron Paul?
What they did. Yeah, the guy from Breaking Bad. Aaron and Josh Hartnett, yeah. Where that one was a good, like, oh, dang.
Yeah.
What do they do now?
I think that's the whole... I think that is one of the things we're missing from sci-fi is that whole mind-bending moment where you're like, wait a minute, what am I watching? Wait, what
it's
happened?
Over? That's
right.
It?
That's how it ends? Wait, what? So, yeah. All right. Well, hey, this has been a great episode. I want to thank Matt for joining us on our podcast. I don't know if Matt will come back on, but we'll talk to Matt and see if he'll be up for coming back to the podcast. But thanks. We're at our hour. So thanks for listening. Please tell your friends about our show. This is B and
The Sharp J.
And we'll see you next time. Have a great one, everybody.
Later. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.